Everything was magnified that much even more. The Luke thing and what happened to Mo, like I don't think all of that is taken as seriously as it was if there wasn't that type of money on the line. There's people who still have cameos of me in my Four Seasons suit in my office doing
those are like NFTs
cool.
at that point.
Yeah.
It's a rare thing to find. That's so cool. All right, guys, we're back with another good podcast today featuring the one and only Robbie Berger. Thanks for coming on, brother. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, fellas.
This is episode 6. Appreciate all the love. We're going to dive into BobDoesSports and a lot of other things today. I wanted to first kick it off just because, I mean, it's kind of in the past, but it's sort of hot a little bit. I wanted to just talk about Internet Invitational for like a quick 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about like all the positives, the ups and downs, if we could like summarize it, and then mostly want to go through potentially like, are you guys talking about doing another one?
Yeah. No doubt about it. It was awesome. Appreciate you guys coming. That was awesome. It was better than we could have even imagined. Obviously, Dave's so good about like building the hype and everything. And then the way that everything kind of just fell into place, because people for a long time had talked about like getting everybody together to do one type of video, and it just never really worked out. I felt like Dave was the guy who could get that done. And then, I mean, all the sagas that came from it was just crazy. I mean, obviously you guys saw with the Mo stuff, who I love, so I hope that for him is dying down a little bit. Brad, maybe the most likable guy in the game now, popping off, so good things have come from it too.
It's like the perfect recipe. It's like literally when you think of Barstool Sports and you think of like potentially having drama and then the ups and downs, like that's everything they wanted, I'm sure.
Oh, it's just I've watched Barstool for a while, and things kind of just tend to fall in Dave's lap. You know what I mean? And it just like the way that all worked out. It was pretty nuts, top to bottom, with all the different stuff. And then like, you know, on a really like beef, winning it all was incredible. So like you can't script that stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it was magic, that's for sure. So obviously it went amazing. I honestly, like from a viewer perspective, watching the content unfold, I thought you guys did a better job than I could have ever expected, because like I remember Ryder showed us a photo of all the tentacle sinks, the mics that you guys had.
Yeah.
Just nonsense. I was like, there's no way this comes out and like there's no way they can make this a coherent watch for the viewer. You guys did great. So kind of leading to potential another one, like is there talks of it, or are you guys wanting to do another one? We're
already having talks of doing another one. A lot of talks like, you know, do you change locations? Big Cedar was awesome. Do you keep the location on that front? Kind of go into, so yeah, definitely going to roll another one out this year. There's always talks about it. I think it's a good mix too. Like I saw there was a thing where Dave invited like Kate and Clark, which would be awesome. So you got to find a mix of finding like still like the YouTubers and keeping it that, but also bringing in like different wrinkles that you can do to it. So time will tell as far as that, like who we bring in. Obviously, I think you got to change the list to a degree, keep a lot of the same people, but at the same time, maybe add. My biggest worry going into it, we had so many talks about it, was like, do we have too many people? Because I think it was 48 total people. Like you were saying with the cameras and mics, like I worried, it's like, how do you capture all of that? When I walked in the first night and saw how good Barstool was, how many cameras they had, it put me at ease where it's like, oh, they really know what they're doing. So yeah, it was all able to work out. They're top notch as far as the way they do things, and then editing it obviously took so long for those guys to do, and they crushed it.
Yeah. So was it more of a Barstool operation than like a than a BobDoesSports operation as far as from the production standpoint? Because I know Jet, I mean, he played in it.
Yeah.
So he probably didn't have a bunch of a say.
Yeah, I think it really was mixed match. For the production, it really was mostly them. Jet will kind of go through the end of it to make sure that it really is like a YouTube thing and like really looking out for everybody and, you know, making sure like he'll look at it at the end. But overall, Barstool really took the lead on that. I think we played a big help with like getting the people there. We had a lot of the relationships, and so do they. But yeah, production-wise, Barstool really stepped up.
Yeah, they did a good job there.
Crushed it.
Would there be, for like the next one, so we can, or the viewers can potentially expect something like, I heard talks of potentially having a bigger prize pool. Even, I mean, like, because $1 million, Because you got to think, like, from a YouTuber's perspective, looking at $1 million prize pool is already insane. And then I see a clip of Dave saying potentially a $10 million prize pool. I mean, we're not like NBA superstars. It's insane to think that might be a thing. I don't know.
It's crazy. And also, too, like with the $1 million on the line, like everything was magnified that much even more. Like, I don't think the Luke thing and what happened to Mo, like, I don't think all of that is taken as seriously as it was if there wasn't that type of money on the line. So, yeah, if you bring in $10 million to it, a lot of times people say they're going to do things and they don't really follow up. If there's a guy that's going to say it and hold to it, it would be Dave. So I do believe if he says $10 million, obviously there's brands attached to it as well. But like if Dave says it's going to be $10 million, I think he'll pull it off.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That would be just so insane.
No.
You're playing for like generational money.
Yeah.
Like one round.
I can't handle the moment either. I mean, I know if that's me. You know, everyone's giving Frankie a hard time like about that chip. If that was me throughout that round, I'd be a mess. Like I wouldn't have made it.
By the way,
I
have no chance I'm chipping that.
Oh,
No chance. Okay, well, last thing about Internet Invitational.
Yeah.
Would there be like a couple dream guests that you guys would want to have in the next Internet Invite?
I mean, the Caitlin Clark one that Dave had thrown out was awesome. I would love to see, like, the thing about, like, if you bring in athletes, the problem to it is a lot of the athletes have so much money as is that they're not, the beauty of the YouTubers doing it, it's not like everybody's loaded. So, like, people are fighting and it means, you know, maybe you do something with captains where the athletes are captains and kind of fighting for you guys, something like that. I don't know for sure. I think that would be a good idea. But like Josh Allen, who we're really close with, like bringing in somebody like that. He had mentioned Caitlin Clark would be awesome. Bryson, with how involved he is with YouTube, maybe he's a captain to some degree. Obviously, from a playing standpoint, it might not be fair, so you'd have to figure that out. But yeah, that's the next thing. And then there's so many people that didn't make the cut that you can add in as well. So there's so many more people that you could still bring on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do the athletes thing, but it's definitely something we've talked about.
Yeah, I mean, good thing is, like, you guys tested it with, it was 48 golfers?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah. And, I mean, it clearly worked, so it's easy to show that you could probably do more.
Yeah, I like, too, like, the way it was like
It's
that
a lot,
Ryder
but you probably
Cup.
could.
Yeah, and, like, that Ryder Cup feel I thought was awesome. Like, everybody staying. Like, even I saw you the last day. It's like everybody was so into it and stayed for it. And then you're going to cheer on your team after you finish. Like, that whole format of it, I thought really, really helped it all and made it special.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You could even do like a Monday qualifier.
Oh, my
They
God.
talked about that.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That'd be awesome. 100. At this point, anything's possible.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it opens up the floodgates. Well, we'll wrap up like the Internet Invitational talk right there, but kind of want to dive more into Bob and Bob Does Sports. Before we get into like Bob Does Sports, and you know, one thing to mention is like you guys have changed the world of golf social media in a big way, just because it's like, you know, you have what I don't know what you would define like good as, but like we're kind of a little more family friendly, whatever. And then like you kind of shook up the space a little bit with FP and Joey, and you guys have like really taken over a huge audience. So obviously want to dive a bunch into that. But prior to that, like there's a lot of facts that I know about you that I want to share with, you know.
Yeah.
First, like, let's get into like your upbringing, like where'd you grow up and like pre-YouTube, because I feel like you lived a lot of life prior to doing
You're right.
to doing YouTube golf. Because I didn't know you, like when I first started following along with your stuff, like I didn't know you as Bob Does Sports. And I would say a lot of people didn't. Like I knew you as Brilliantly Dumb. And I knew you for the food reviews. I knew you for just like your personality. You set up your phone and do all these different things. And you had your Brilliantly Dumb show as well.
Yep.
So yeah, just kind of like talk to us about like where you came from prior to social media and stuff like that.
Yeah. Born and raised in New Jersey. Ended up when I went to college, played baseball for a year. Then it was time to hang it up. That was pretty obvious. I still get pictures of, if you type in my name, my ERA comes up and my picture from it. Just brutal. I think I gave up like 8 earned runs my last outing. I knew it was done.
You're a pitcher.
Yeah. I was having a decent year until like midway. I just started getting shelled, and I see that picture. It was like a 7 ERA, but bounced around schools, and then while I was going to schools, I knew I always wanted to be in the hotel business. My cousin was in it, and I would see the different people he was meeting at the hotels. Academically, knew I didn't have it, but I always wanted to work with people. And the good thing with hotels is I've always said it's like you either have it or you don't. You either have personality in a hotel or you don't. There's really no school that's going to really help with hospitality to a degree. So I was I was a doorman in college. I wanted to work my way up to like a 5-star hotel so I could start meeting, these people that come in and out. Ended up flunking out of college.
Before what does a doorman consist of?
It's a good question.
I actually want to know the ins and outs of this job.
Literally, each hotel is different, but when you're there to greet them when they come in the door, you get the door, you hold the door open for them, you get them on the way out. Sometimes you'll help with bags, but then there's bellmen for that. A lot of really only like the 5-star hotels will have a doorman. Like you won't see that if it's not really like a 5-star hotel because usually they'll just have bellmen, but you're just like the face meeting and greeting people. And I always wanted to get into the hotel, but in order to get into a 5-star hotel and like work there, as staff, like as a front desk agent or whatnot, you have to have experience. The only way for me to get experience was to go out into the door, meet the people inside. So yeah, people coming in and out at a hotel in Miami, and then I was putting out content at that time. So it was really bizarre. I was putting out content, and like I was a doorman, then I was a bellman, and I did it all.
Yeah.
I really did. I did it all.
So that's actually how you met Joey, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Because he also was in the hotel business?
Yeah, so we both worked at the Four Seasons. I ended up near the end of working there. I was a guest services manager, but when I first met Joe, I finally got into the front desk, and you have to pay your dues. There's a seniority, so you have to work the overnight shifts.
Okay.
Joe was working at the restaurant, and in Beverly Hills, there's like a strict shutdown at 11 o'clock in Beverly Hills. You can't serve drinks past 11.
Oh, really?
Joe completely went against that. So like,
we're just outing Joe like this.
Yeah, he was the only place in Beverly Hills where they were still serving drinks. So like
he was known for this.
Oh, it was awesome. The spot. Like he wouldn't go to sleep. He would just stay up and keep the place running. And my manager complained about how loud it was in the restaurant. He came out to talk to her, and he got to me first. And he's like, "Do you think the music is too loud?" I said, "No, I think it's great. The people are having a good time." Then he got into it with my manager, and we became really good friends right from there. Wow. Pretty wild.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts.
That's an awesome story.
It's crazy. There used to be like, when I then was a guest services manager, we would bet on games while we were working at the hotel. I would go into the restaurant, and you would see Joe completely disregarding the people at the restaurant. He'd be screaming at the bar like he was a patron, like he was sitting down at the bar. It was a wild, wild time. It was nuts.
Just completely forgot that he worked there.
No regard for the customers. He actually was really good at what he did, but if there was a game on, he'd be like at the bar yelling at a Four Seasons. It was chaos.
It's so good.
Yeah, it was nuts.
That's funny. So how long did you guys do that together? Four Seasons?
We were at the same hotel for 2 years. My cousin ended up hiring him at another hotel. But yeah, 2 years. And then when I was getting ready to leave, I was having those conversations with Joe on whether I should go or not. I was deciding whether or not to go to Barstool. Dave had reached out to me. Joe was crucial in that process. Like I would have gone to Barstool if it wasn't for Joe.
So, yeah. So, because I know you did stuff prior to BobDoesSports, you had your social media, but then didn't you do stuff with like potentially another media outlet? Was it Barstool or who was it?
It's good memory.
Yeah, because I know you did stuff with Francis Ellis, right?
Yes.
What was that company?
It was called Bro Bible.
Bro Bible. I knew it was
Yeah.
something Bible. I couldn't remember.
Yep, and they came to me at the same time the Barstool did. My dream was to always work for Barstool. Like that's what I wanted to do, no doubt about it. When Dave, I come back to my office one day and I have a DM from Dave asking if I wanted to work there. Usually the answer would be yes. It was my dream. I didn't want to leave Joe because I would have had to go back to New York. Me and Joe were doing content, and I really thought we had something there. And then Bro Bible reached out at the same time. They gave me the ability to stay in LA. Dave wanted me to come to New York. So I ultimately decided to go with Bro Bible, stay in LA. I really didn't want to leave Joe. So it was really hard because Barstool was my dream job.
Yeah. That's kind of a full circle moment in a way to do like the internet invitational in the way that you guys did. So in a sense, like you ended up working with Dave, and it's crazy to like you obviously took the leap of faith on yourself and like knowing that you had something, which is a good testament to that. But with Bro Bible, how long did that happen with Bro Bible? How long did you stay there?
Probably was there for about a year until I ended up going to a different podcast company, and it ended up being a bit of a disaster. But it really was. I said to Dave at the Internet Invitation, I said, you have no idea how much it means to me to be doing like the full circle. Frankie was my cousin was the best man at his wedding, so my cousin would try and get me to Barstool. Frankie would show Dave my videos, so it really was. That Internet Invitational for me was special.
That's so cool.
Crazy.
Wow. Okay, so Bro Baba happens with Joey, and you're doing your social stuff, but you're mostly in podcasts when it comes to long form, right?
Correct.
So just doing podcast, and then when did the cameo stuff start?
It's funny
because like you are like for anybody that doesn't know, if anybody's watching this and doesn't know this, like Bob is literally the Tiger Woods of cameo. Like you were the GOAT. Are you like number one? Or you were at one point, I know, right?
Yeah, I go back and forth with this guy, James Buckley. He was in a show in the UK. We go back and forth all the time.
James Buckley.
Yeah.
Do you know who James Buckley is?
I don't, but I think I've seen your post on that, like the leaderboard
He buries me. Yeah,
Really?
I can't beat him. I can't beat him. So it's us going back.
What's his
forth.
price per cameo? Are we in the same price point? Or?
He's 50, I'm 100, so maybe I got to lower the price to get to him. But we have like a good fun banter.
Yeah. Does he know about the competition?
Oh yeah,
Buckley?
he loves it. It says it fires him up too. So yeah, it's like a good back and forth we have. Yeah.
How many cameos do you do a day?
It really depends, because sometimes you have 7 days to do them. So there's some times where if I have something going on, I won't do them. But usually every day I do about an hour to 2 hours on cameos. So it could be in the range of 15 to 25 cameos a day. But then like Christmas time is nuts for me.
Yeah.
So like my girlfriend just hears me rattling them off all day.
He just never shuts off.
It doesn't stop. I like doing them. There's people who still have cameos of me in my Four Seasons suit in my office doing the
those are like
That's
NFTs at that point.
yeah.
It's a rare thing to find. That's so cool.
That is crazy.
Oh my gosh. All right, so yeah, Bob's the go-to cameo.
Thank you.
We've
Thank you.
decided that.
I appreciate
Has Cameo like? Do they help you? Do they promote you? Like, have they reached out and they're like?
Yeah, I got a great thing going with them. They have like a rep for me, so I'll talk to my rep. I'm seeing them when I go to LA. We're having lunch. We got a really good thing. They've been so good to me, and it's like people say, "Oh, why don't you start your own thing?" To be honest, they're like very well known, and the whole system they have, like the software, it's easy to use. So I really enjoy it.
You should do like his name's Jeff Buckley. Is that his name, or what is his name?
Why am I
Something
James
Buckley.
James Buckley.
James Buckley. You should do like a campaign at some point for like a week where you lower your price to $50.
$49.
$49.99.
Yes.
And just try and blow them out of the water.
I'm all in on that.
Yeah,
Whatever it takes. I have
promote
to
it
beat him
everywhere.
a month.
So
Yeah.
everyone go get a cameo from Bob.
I
right now.
appreciate that, T. Thank you.
Maybe he'll do like an hour discount right
That's
now.
so good about the NFT. That's like that's unbelievable.
It literally is, isn't it,
That's
though?
unreal.
Do you get some weird, like, do you ever turn ones down? Like, you get some weird.
Yeah, I've gotten some weird ones. Some
Yeah.
ones where I had a guy who asked me to divorce his wife, and
Oh my god!
I couldn't tell if it was a joke or not. Like,
Yeah.
I really couldn't tell. So I did it in like a joking manner, and then you send it out, and you never know. What happens.
This
You know
video,
what I
this
mean?
cameo needs to surface.
I know. But then there's like, I used to get fooled sometimes, like a brand, and you don't really know that it's a brand will ask you to do something, and then you see like paid sponsorship beside behind their thing. So you got to be careful on that front
yeah,
too.
because then you're giving free promo.
Yeah,
basically.
but it's a smart play for them to do. Like, I respect
brilliant.
I respect the move.
Yeah,
I bet
Yeah.
Buckley's not getting any
It
of
is.
those.
No, Buckley would never. Buckley would never.
it's good hustle.
No chance.
Does Cameo keep all your videos like on YouTube? You can see the ones you posted. Like, is it the same way on Cameo?
There's some cameos where it does stay, and then some where it doesn't.
They go away.
Yeah, because some people are like, Bob, you kind of, if they saw a cameo that I said a similar thing, but at the same time, when you do a lot of them, you're gonna end up saying somewhat of the same
Yeah.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You would imagine like, what's your goat? Do you have a go-to? like
like-
thanks for watching, or like what?
yeah,
do you,
like I'll say I'm pouring one out in your honor tonight if it's like their birthday or something. If I have like a drink on me or something like that.
Yeah.
Mix and match it a
Yeah.
little bit.
that's a good one.
Yeah,
Pouring
I
one
like
out in your
doing it.
honor.
I really do.
So cameos and
Yeah.
then food reviews. I
Yeah.
feel like these are two very popular things that you have going, or just reviews in general. Like you have these. I remember, which one was it? Your Jersey Mike's one.
Yeah.
You did a. I can't remember exactly what you just said. I just remember I was dying laughing. I watched it over and over and over. Talking about the guy with the meat cutter or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't. Do you remember this one? Or
I sure do, of course.
Like, so why did you start food reviews? Was that impartial because of Dave's pizza reviews, or was it just like?
No, I always just loved food. My dad was in the food business. He was a food salesman. So like restaurants, he would sell the food to them. He was really good at what he did. So I was around food all the time. And he was a big foodie. So I was always into it and just loved food. And on the Bob Does Sports front, it gives, for us, we don't have much of a female demographic. So, like, when you do the food reviews, it brings in more of that female demographic as well. And I just love food, analyzing it, the whole nine.
Yeah. Yeah, you go in depth.
I do,
You tell.
yeah.
You're a good storyteller. That's one thing that you're just like dialed on.
Yeah,
you captivate the audience about anything.
I just love food, so I get all you came in today, I was talking about that Shugs. I get fired up, yeah.
Which, can we get like a Shugs review? Any locals here in Dallas that have been to Shugs at SMU? It's a very good spot. And I know you're very inclined with bagels, but what would you say about the Shugs bagels?
Honest to God, it's one of the better bagels I've had, and what they do, which I really like, is I like doing like lunch bagels, I call them, like with chicken cutlets in the bagel, or like deli sandwiches on a bagel that they do too. They're tremendous.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
But have you been to Shugs?
I have. I got like a spicy.
Yeah, the spicy shug.
Yeah.
really good.
Oh, so you had that?
Oh yeah.
How many-
I'm telling you, I ordered 6 bagels.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I really did.
Did you eat all 6 or just a bite of each?
Yeah,
Well, mukbang.
sometimes I'll take it. Yeah, exactly. I'll take a couple bites of each. I'm really nutty when it comes to food.
Yeah.
I can tell. That's good.
Yeah.
Do you have? Give me like your, off the top of your head, like your top 3 food reviews that you've done.
Shugs. I did a review on Shugs that was unbelievable. I did. There's a place in Boca called Vinny's where it's like one of those TikTok viral shops. Chicken Caesar wrap
Okay.
was out of this world.
You love a good chicken Caesar wrap.
Sure do. Yeah, I really do. And this one is the real deal.
I'm still disappointed in you.
Why is
honestly.
that?
Yeah, because the one time that we had a chicken Caesar wrap together, you were gassing it up all day, saying how this chicken
Still
Caesar
bothers
wrap,
me.
It's like, apparently this was like top dog of chicken Caesar wraps.
Wasn't enough sauce.
Not enough sauce.
Yeah, I remember
Didn't
that.
blow my cock off.
I know.
Unfortunately.
And that was a fun day of filming, by the way.
Yeah.
But that bothered me because you were right. You were 100% right.
It wasn't that good.
No, and it has it can be so good. They're just inconsistent with it. You like the fries though?
The fries
Remember
were great.
Fries were good.
Yeah, fries were great.
But that bothered me because you were right. What you were saying was true.
So, anyways, Vinny's is not like that. Vinny's is like
Unbelievable.
top tier
Yeah,
chicken Caesar
out of
wrap,
this world. Really, really good.
and that's in Boca Raton.
Yes. So if you're in Jupiter, like 45 minutes.
Okay.
Not too bad.
We'll be taking a trip over there.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah. Is it true you're opening a bagel shop of your own?
Yeah.
I heard that, or I saw that
I
in
didn't
a
even know
short.
this.
But
Yeah.
could you go into depth on that?
Yeah, so there's where I grew up, Randolph, New Jersey. There's like bagel wars there. Like it's one of the best bagel towns I think in the states. It is so good. There's this family called the Spiropoulos family that owns the Randolph Diner, and
awesome.
they hired the best bagel place called Alpha Bagel in Randolph. They wanted to start a bagel joint. So they hired all the people from that Alpha and made a similar bagel and ended up, I think, making a better bagel. So they want to come down and collab and do a bagel together. So they're the right family to do it with.
Wow.
Right bagel family.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
you got to
that's-
find the right bagel family.
Wow.
You know?
When is this? When is this one underway?
They think that, so we're still like even looking for locations. They think that it'll be up and going probably this time next year.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, really excited. I'm
Yeah.
pumped.
Wow. Sorry, did I miss it? Do we have a name for it, or
Bob Does Bagels.
Bob Does
Yeah.
Bagels?
Yeah, it's like it's the dumbest world I'm living in. It's like not real, you know.
Bob Does Bagels. Have you
Yeah.
thought about Bob's Bagels?
Yeah, I did. But I want to get that Bob Does Sports audience, for
Yeah.
the if you know, you know, but then also get it outside of that. So Bob Does Bagels.
works.
Yeah.
Where's it going to be at again?
Probably this time next year.
Or where? Sorry, where's the location?
Jupiter or Palm Beach Gardens is
Okay.
where we're looking.
Heck
so,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
pumped.
local.
I'm really, really
Dude,
pumped.
you're gonna get the golf audience too, because
That'll
they're
be big.
all around there.
That'll be big.
They're gonna be flocking in.
I
to
owe
see
you a
that.
Caesar wrap, and I'm going to sauce the living heck out of that thing.
Yeah,
by
you
the
better
way.
freaking
man.
lather that thing up. Because
Brutal.
that first one we
Just
had was
brutal.
too dry.
You're right.
It was not it. It's not it. Okay, well, fast forwarding to Bob Does Sports. Let's just
Yeah.
get right into it. Like the start of it, obviously we've told the story how you met Joey at the hotel in the hotel business, and then I've heard the story, but I kind of want to I want to set the scene for everyone at home. Like, how did Bob Does Sports come together? Because I watched it. Like I was there right at the beginning,
Yeah.
watching you guys kind of start this thing. I remember we filmed like very early on for GM, me and Grant, with you and Joey.
And I'm not just saying this because you're here. I say it to the guys all the time. You were huge for me for getting into the golf world, because he had me on in Good when we didn't even do golf content. Or I don't even think Bob Does Sports started then. It was just
brilliantly dumb at
Yeah.
in California.
Yep.
What course was that?
It was in the little valley.
Yeah, the casino course, the casino.
The
it's
bucket hat. I looked ridiculous.
the bridge to Terabithia.
Yes, by the casino.
Yes.
By the casino. Yes.
What's it called?
Couldn't tell you. but I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was with AJ Poole.
Yes.
Oh
that's
my
exactly right.
gosh.
That was the first one we did. So you got me really into the golf. I didn't really even golf at the time either. So like you really
such a good day.
got me into it. It was awesome.
They were calling you. I'm sorry. I just thought it was so funny. I didn't really know your skill level either. I mean, you've gotten so much better. Can we talk about that? Like, you really have gotten
Appreciate
a
that,
lot
G.
better at golf.
But
But I
good
remember,
God.
like, your nickname was Bobby Fairways, and I didn't see you at a single fairway.
Well, the reason they call me Bobby Fairways is when I played 36 holes with my friends and I didn't hit one fairway. So the Bobby Fairways thing, people will say it to me, they're like, you don't hit any fairways. I was like, yeah, well, that's how I got the name. They were calling me Bobby Fairways. I didn't come remotely close to a fairway.
It's a good way to get a nickname.
Yeah, but with Bob Does Sports, I was really in a low time because I left the Bro Bible, really took a chance with this podcast company, and it ended up really not working out. I had to go on my own. I had another podcast going with a guy that was really picking up steam. He just left it. Like, he just decided one day it was just done out of nowhere. So I was at the lowest of my low.
If you don't mind me asking, like, why did it not work out with this podcast
So
company?
it was a podcast called Pantry Boys, and it was a food podcast, and there really wasn't much like it at the time. And this guy, Nicky Cass, granted, he was really young at the time. He was in school, but he was good. And, we had these talks of all these brands we were going to bring in and what we were going to do. And then maybe a few days after we had that talk, we were all fired up. He's like, I can't do anymore. I got too much on my plate.
Wow.
Which, granted, look, he was young. He was in college. Like, I get it. But at the same time, I was fighting for my life, and the job that I had left, that was the only salary I had. So that Pantry Boys podcast, that was all I had left.
Yeah.
So once he left, I was like, I'm not going to go back to the Four Seasons because I've gotten like a taste of what this is like full time. This is what I want to do. But I don't have any money. So like Jet was working for me at the time. I had no money to pay him. And then I hit up a guy named Reed who I would send in my videos when I worked in the overnight shift to. They have a ton of different like big Instagram pages called Doing Things Media. So I would send them my videos in the overnight shift. I would just rapid fire videos. So I ended up talking to him through that. We always wanted to work together. It never worked out because I was with the company or whatnot. So I was finally free. I was like, hey, I'm free. Maybe we could start something. That's where we had then came up with the idea of doing Bob Does Sports because we were finally at that time able to work for each other together. But at that time when Bob Does Sports was starting, it was like do or die. It was
Right. Well, a couple things. I mean, first thing, obviously back against the wall, like you have to make something happen, which like obviously good on you for making Bob Does Sports happen. But do you feel like there was ever like a low point at which you were kind of like, I actually think I'm going to go back to working a job pre Bob Does Sports?
In my head, it was like I will have to go like about to be homeless till I go back to the Four Seasons. And not that not that I didn't like the Four Seasons, because I did, but I got a taste of what I wanted to do my whole life. So it was just such do or die. And then I had Jet too, so it was really even bigger than me, because he left his job to work with me.
Wow.
And I had no money to pay him. It was
That's
awful.
loyalty right there. Too.
Oh, he was. I mean, I told him, I was like, look, I want you to know, the Brilliantly Dumb show was with a guy named Jersey Jerry, who Dave tried to hire before, and Jerry stayed with me to go to this company with. That's why the whole full circle thing comes. When I left that podcast, the podcast company that I was with, Jerry was going to leave with me, and then Dave offered him again. So that just lost Jerry.
Because now he's at Barstool.
Correct. Yeah, it's crazy how full. And I knew I couldn't keep him, because he came with me before for a lower salary. And once Dave came in, like I couldn't compete with Dave. You know, there was no dog. Yeah, there was no way. And he stuck with me for the first time. Then Dave came back. I was like, oh, there goes Jerry, who I really thought was the key ingredient to it all.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think like how big this world is, but how small it is at the same time.
It's crazy.
Everybody knows everybody.
It's nuts.
Like I would have never, if you didn't tell me that, I would have never known that Jersey Jerry was, doing stuff with you. Probably.
Yeah. After the Internet Invitational, I got pretty emotional after it by myself when I came back to my room, because I just couldn't believe it was all over. I was so happy it was all done and it went well, but just how full circle everything was. Jerry was supposed to play with it. He had a kid, so he didn't play in it, but he was supposed to be in it. But yeah, I had no money, so I told Jed, I was like, look, I don't have any money to pay you, but I really think this thing's going to pop off. If you just hang with me, I promise, when it does hit, and if it hits, I'll really take good care of you. And he didn't flinch. I mean, you would think at that time that he would kind of tone it back a little bit, because, like, he'd look into other things. He's not getting paid. He, like, ramped it up times 10 during that time. He went off.
Yeah, that's a teammate right there.
Oh.
He's willing to go through the depths of everything to get to the good side.
Yeah.
And it's also good on you for, like, sticking true to your word, too. I mean, Jet's probably killing it now. Obviously, BobDoesSports is to the moon. So, like, yeah, that's a testament to loyalty right there. But I also wanted to talk about one thing, because at the start of BobDoesSports, it was BobDoesSports. It's not Bob Does Golf. And I remember, like, at the beginning, prior to you getting into the golf world, we were talking and having some conversations, like, you had showed up to one of our YouTube videos right after watching little people fight in a mall.
Correct.
And refereeing it.
Yeah. So we were trying anything. I'll go down that. I mean, we did it. It happened. So there was a lot of man on the street type stuff originally, BobDoesSports. So you got to be like, what the hell? So
Blake's learning a lot today.
I'm in.
So BobDoesSports started. It was a lot of man on the street stuff where I would like interview people outside of different games. Like we would go to an Ole Miss game and interview people outside of there and document the entire experience. But it just wasn't sustainable to get 4 videos out a month, going to each stadium and doing it. So we're like, we're trying everything. So we had the idea that I was going to referee what's called Micromania, and it's little people wrestling. They call it midget wrestling. So that's what they call it.
I've seen the clips. They're awesome.
Yeah, so they're like, you're going to go and you're going to ref midget wrestling. So it's like at this mall, this rundown mall. It was brutal. I'm at the low, like BobDoesSports. These videos we're not doing, it's not hitting. Like it's not working. We're trying anything. So we go to this mall and I'm going to referee it. And they take you in the back, and they kind of tell you it's a big crowd, and you got some character. Think of the people that would go to view this thing. You got some characters out there.
I'm sure.
I brought Big Ticket with me, who was working at the Four Seasons still at the time, and
dude, all these people are so full circle.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
So
the Big
like,
Ticket
this
was
is
there
how
at
it's
this
gonna
time.
go. This is how the match is going to go, and he's going to pin him at a certain time. Obviously, it's staged. He's going to pin him, and you do the 3 count. So they're filming Jets going around the ring, and the guy goes to, instead of 50 cent, his name was 25 cent. And I'm just dead serious. He goes to pin him, and I forget to do the 3 count. So the midgets look up at me like, what are you doing? Like, you're not, like, how come you're not doing 3? So they have to keep wrestling because the match isn't over yet. So finally the crowd starts to realize, like, the ref is the one botching this whole thing. And I hope I could say this, maybe you could bleep it, Max, but all of a sudden, a chant goes out. Mind you, I'm at the lowest of my low. We're trying anything. you hear a chant of Bob sucks. Bob sucks. So I realized that they realized how bad I just screwed up, and I look out into this crowd. The guy who started the chant and is on the table doing it is Ticket. Ticket started the chant. So he's screaming the louder than anybody, Bob sucks. They're booing me. It was awful. But yeah, and then golf came around. But that's how it started, and Ticket was the one who started the chant.
That's so good.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't think you knew what you were getting there.
Yeah, I got that.
That's really what happened, though, Max.
That was before. That wasn't the day before. No.
It was.
That was just happening around.
No, this was quite literally right before him and I had filmed the June golf video.
Yeah.
He shows up to the course and he's like, "Yeah, I just was at this mall, like wrestling little people."
I told you. I was not
like,
going
Bob.
back to that Four Seasons.
Yeah,
I
clearly
was going
not.
to try whatever it took.
Clearly not.
Yeah. You're right, though. We did that match like
It was
right
after. I think it might have been like the day after, or the day of. I don't know. Wow.
Let's call it a floor.
Yeah. You take it from there, Blake. Yeah.
I gotta- oh my gosh.
That's unbelievable.
Well, so that's the start of Bob Does Sports.
Yeah.
I can't believe Big Ticket. They're all there with you through the thought of all of it.
Oh, yeah. And at that
You're
time,
doing whatever.
Jersey Jerry's fighting in Rough and Rowdy for Barstool, and it's like the biggest thing, which obviously, of course, I was pulling for Jerry, but I'm seeing now Jerry's having this crazy success, and we're in the back room watching his fight. He was doing this Rough and Rowdy thing they do, and Jerry was like huge. It was amazing.
Yeah. And now look at it. You know where it's at now.
Yeah.
So, from the fans' perspective, I feel like when you see characters in a group, obviously you're just like, oh, that's just them. Like, they've been there for so long, whatever. Like, I just, again, like, I kind of wanted to get in the story because I remember when it was just you, and then it was Joey, right? And then FP came along. Obviously, Jet's there. Ticket's kind of in the picture. Talk about FP coming along into Bob Does Sports. After you guys, now you've started golf. You know, you've done the video where you take FP to, what is it, Victoria Links? Or
That was Joe to Links to Victoria.
Yeah, sorry, not FP.
No,
yeah,
video.
Joe. Yeah, Joe.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you've done that kind of content. Now you have FP come along. What's the story there?
Yeah, so a little before we started Bob Does Sports, I was still doing the Brilliant Show, which we're still doing. And it was still when I was with Bro Bible, we would do these. It was during COVID, so we were doing these Zoom happy hours as part of a Patreon for the podcast. So that was like an extra episode to bring money in and give for fans, like the hardcore fans. They would pay monthly, and once a month we would do these happy hours, and it was a blast. So, you know, we would drink and we would run the show on these happy hours. And during one of them, Joe texted me, and, you know, we're drinking, we're having a good time, we're doing the podcast. He's like, you're on a Zoom so you can see everybody. He's like, do you see this fat Perez guy? And I looked into the Zoom, and I see a guy in his cubicle just, like, crushing pizza, which clearly he's at work, eating pizza and drinking beers. And we would, like, call different fans up and have them talk. We'd ask them questions, and FP came on. And I was like, man, this guy's awesome. And then even before Bob Does Sports, we were then in Pinehurst. This is like building up to Bob Does Sports. We're at Pinehurst. FP reached out to Joe. He's like, I'm in the area. I could come by. So we played golf with FP. And there was a guy that we were with who was hosting us, and we're at dinner. FP comes, and he asked FP, he's like, do you play golf? He goes, yeah, I'm scratch. And the guy dropped his fork. He's like, you're a scratch golfer? He's like, yeah, I'm a scratch golfer. He's like, if you're a scratch golfer, we're playing Pinehurst number 2 tomorrow. We need a fourth. Show up at 8:30. So
Wow.
FP, of course, bails out of work, and he plays with us. I was like, this guy's unbelievable. Then when Bob Does Sports started, we needed a fourth for the match that we played against Barstool, and he made the most sense to be the fourth. So that was like the first
So that was
time.
his first one.
Not his first one. We had like done a couple videos with him before, like part-time stuff, and then we needed the fourth. So it's like, all right, that makes a ton of sense to have.
That's when you knew you had something there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was who that would have been you, Jet, and Joey,
Yep.
and then FP against Foreplay.
Correct.
I remember that video.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was like one of his first official where you guys realized like. this
Yeah, that was like his like coming out party with Barstool. We owe a lot to Barstool even for that. Then we were playing against Foreplay. They dropped that video, and for FP, I mean, Bob Does Sports already caught some steam because that Links of Victoria video. But then they got their eyes on FP, and that really took it to another level.
So one thing that I've noticed with you is like you definitely have an eye for characters, right? Like the people that you've done stuff with. I think what's really cool about y'all and everything is, and we've tried to do the same thing where it's like Colin and Max are very well-known characters, even though they're most of the time behind the camera and they're not golfers. Like one thing that you've done with the Jet, Ticket, and then I think now you have a younger new
Jensen, yeah.
Jensen. It just seems like everybody that you're kind of involved with, they're all characters. Is that by design, or is that something that just happens naturally where you vibe with somebody and then all of a sudden they're kind of a part of the group? Because that's kind of how it is with us.
Yeah, it's a good question. It really, like, I knew they had, to me, what mattered to me more with the content, I knew they would know how to edit, but, like, the comedic timing of it all, and Max, like, I'm sure you guys see, like, having that comedic timing of knowing what to edit, how to edit it was, to me, the biggest thing, and I knew Jet had that, and I had known Ticket from working at the Four Seasons. He worked at the pool. Joe was his boss. So I knew, it's crazy. So I knew Ticket. I knew he had it. I knew he knew how to edit and whatnot. So when he came in, it was originally just to be a producer. So it really wasn't by design, to answer your question. But then you see how good they are, not just of what they do, but then behind the camera. Like, they know how to get us going, and they're so funny that it's kind of built that way to where they've really become talent. Like, they're in front of the camera a ton as well as behind it, and it's worked out great. So no, not by design, but it kind of worked out that way.
Right. One thing that I wanted to kind of mention real quick about FP is Josh Allen recently hit the Euro step.
Yeah.
In the end zone.
So cool.
Was that just
Unreal.
massive for you guys? You saw that too,
Yeah,
right?
well, we were like downstairs when it happened, and so like he did it.
Yeah.
We saw it live.
Yeah.
We were freaking out.
Us too. We were streaming. We went nuts. It was the coolest. And FP just so happens to be a big Bills fan.
That's
So
perfect.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy. I mean, I'm sure you guys too like have had so many of these moments if you're filming with like a certain pro or whatnot. These like can't believe we're here moments. I think filming with those quarterbacks, that episode we did, was one of the coolest episodes we've done. So for FP, that was crazy, and then to see the Euro step, nuts.
It's, that's the episode with Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, and Kyle Allen.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a crazy trio to get in an
It was
episode.
awesome. And then like we went to dinner after, and it was one of those things where when we got into the car after, we're like, I can't believe that just happened. It was, Josh was like throwing me strips of steak at the table, and I'm like catching steak from Josh. We're drinking. It was
It's
the
like
greatest
this guy's
day.
one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Oh, it was the coolest
Throwing
thing
me
ever.
meat
Yeah.
across the room. That's crazy. has there been a
That
lot?
Max.
Anyways,
Has there been a lot of moments that you've experienced, like since the start of BobDoesSports, where it's like kind of a "I made it" moment? Like, is that, would you you mentioned that as, what are we doing here? How did we get here? But has there been a lot of those situations?
For sure. That quarterback one was one that like really hit me was FP's not a very emotional guy. He always says he's like never cried in his life. And of all things, when we were walking down St. Andrews, we went out with Rick walking down the 18th at St. Andrews, and like the sun's going down, kind of just hit me like, I can't believe this is our job. Seeing FP then get emotional, that was a big one. And then we just did a shoot with Nike, and that was like, it's Nike. That was one of the cooler things.
Whoa. Wow. That is crazy.
Yeah, really, really wow. But honestly, and I say it all the time, I owe so much to you because people don't realize, like, when we started filming, BobDoesSports was not a thing. You were just having
To me?
fun. Yeah.
No. What are you
But it's true. When you had me on Good, that was when the golf world got introduced to me, and that's what really got my mind more on golf, was going out and playing with them.
That's cool to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that. but
I didn't know
it's all
how
credit
good
to
you guys were. So when I went on that first tee box and I saw them, I was like, "Oh man, it's gonna be a long day." Like, but yeah, it was amazing.
You're like, what have I gotten?
I was like,
myself
"Oh,
into?
this is gonna be brutal."
Well, I mean, all those are a lot. I mean, crazy moments, obviously, that you've probably experienced since starting, and I'm sure there's countless more that we're not going to get into. But has there been anything negative, or maybe not say negative, but like, how's the group chemistry? Like, do you guys ever? Because I mean, I feel like we relate a lot to this just because we have another group dynamic here at Good, where it's like, when you're trying to balance being friends and then also work, and like trying to balance the work life, it obviously can be tough because of how like how much travel you're doing and how often you're around people. It's like, how's your guys' group dynamic? Do you guys feel like you hang out off camera? Like, have you guys had any situations where you're like, oh, that's a memorable one where like we got through that situation and almost like strengthened our group in a way?
It's a good question. You always hear like bands that break up, and you never think that, you're like, oh, it can't be us and whatnot. And you guys have seen a ton of it, but then you get into it and you realize it is very hard to balance the friendship and then also the business. Then you have money into it and careers, and it is the most challenging part of it. But the good thing with our crew is, honest to God, we are so close. Like, we hang out. Like, everything you see on camera is what you see off of camera with us. So the hardest thing is having tough conversations, but every tough conversation that I've had, the guys are very mature and they handle it really well. So they don't take it personally. Like, every big conversation I've had with each guy has come out. We've come out better from it, and you can have those conversations. So that's so huge because you're just going to have it. There's no avoiding it. And I always think about, me and Jet talk about this all the time. For you guys, I don't think the guys handle it so well, and I'm able to have the conversations. I feel confident now having tough conversations, as hard as it is to do. I'm happy that BobDoesSports happened later in my life, because I don't know if I'd be able to have those conversations or handle it as well if I was younger.
Yeah.
So with what you've been able to do, it's impressive because you have people who are younger. You were doing it at a younger age. It's more people than we have, and I see how challenging it can be with us. But to answer your question, yes, it happens all the time. But at the end of the day, we are all so close, and we know each piece of the puzzle. We need each other so much. You can't take out FP. You can't take out Joe. So we know how much we need each other. So there's no desire to really go do our own things. We have our separate things where I do the Brownlee Dumb Show. We go off and do our own things. But at the end of the day, we love filming with each other, and we all handle those conversations very, very well. I've learned a ton from it.
That's great. Yeah, and it's important to have those real conversations, especially if you can sense like some sort of controversy. Just bring it up.
Yeah, 100%.
We've learned that through the years as well.
I'm sure.
It'll just fester if you don't talk about
I don't
it and
know
make it worse.
If I was your guys' age when we started with Good, and then having as many people as you guys have, I don't know if I would have been able to handle it at that time. I think it hit me at the right age, and I probably learned more from doing this than anything, just like those people conversations. So really, it's credit to you guys too for what you guys have been able to do, because at that age and that many people, I don't think I would have been able to do it.
Appreciate that. Well, speaking of the business, like you're saying, obviously, friendship and business, it's gonna be a weird thing to balance. You're obviously doing a great job with balancing those conversations. As far as the business side of things, do you have a big input in that, or have you disconnected that and you're more on content, or how does like the operations work at BobDoesSports?
So we have a media company that helps us, like a sales team and whatnot, which is huge. But then everything, we really won't commit to any brand deal, anything unless it's approved with all the guys. So everybody kind of plays their part and has a say in everything. Even something as like FP books the travel. I'll go get a lot of the guests. So everybody plays their role. Jet deals with a lot of the brands on like what will work, what won't work for brands. So each guy plays their part and all feels part of it. So yeah, and I do like to be, I like to be now more than anything involved on a lot of the sales side of things, because I like doing sales, but also we could speak to the brand better, I think, than anybody. So working with the sales team we have has been awesome, and I really enjoy doing that. And I like the brands to hear from me of certain things, but everybody has a say in what we do.
Yeah, that's great. What would you say the biggest financial upside is? And you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but for BobDoesSports, what's the biggest financial upside? And then one thing that I want to say is, like, we've had to fight to balance this throughout the years, but you never want to be that group that goes quote unquote corporate. So like staying connected with your audience and being genuine and real. Like, obviously there's no denying the fact that BobDoesSports is a business. There's no denying the fact that we have a business as well. Like, balancing that is obviously a thing with the audience and like staying true in your content. Yeah, I mean, a couple things. What would you say like your biggest financial upside is for BobDoesSports, and how do you guys kind of like stay grounded, or or does it just happen naturally?
Yeah, that's the thing that we've had to learn is like some brand deals, like your audience knows you well and they'll let you know. Like they could sniff it out if it's something that doesn't really fit you or not. So we've had some things where it's like they see, oh, it's very ad-y or like ad-based, like custom videos where we've tried to get away. So a lot of it has been learning from all of that, a lot of trial and error. We've made mistakes even like when we came out with the drink, when we came out with Drink Have a Day, like doing like, oh, big announcement dropping, and then they're expecting one thing. It's like, oh, now you can just go buy our drink. Like how to approach those types of things and those types of deals and whatnot, and like saving big announcements for really big announcements. So those types of things. And then I think it really depends. I think our big thing, which I really have tried to do the last few years, is I always think, and Jet especially with how negative he is, like we feel like it's going to end tomorrow, which I think is a good mindset to have. So we try and build things that if BobDoesSports ended tomorrow, you're still okay. That's where Bob HQ came from, or Bob Does Bagels, the apparel. Obviously, you got to have BobDoesSports as the engine, but you try and build it beyond that. So yeah, that's been a big thing, and I'm sure you guys have seen like, if you do ad deals, and the fans, they don't mind if you do it time to time, but if you're doing something that doesn't feel true to the brand, they'll let you know about it.
100%.
So Jet's really good about that. Like he'll do a lot of the brand deals of what works, and he works with the sales team, and he'll say no now to some really good offers that won't fit the brand.
Yeah. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, no, I mean, we definitely deal with that too, like with certain deals that we've done in the past, and I just feel like it is important to like connect with your fans on the deals you show. You don't want to shove something that makes no sense down the
100%.
Yeah.
And at the same time too, it's like you got to keep the lights on, and you do have to make money. So like you're going to do brand deals. You're not going to be able to please everybody with it. But if you pick the right ones, the fans, they'll let you know. They'll kind of lay off, and then if you make a mistake, which we've made, they'll let you know on that front too. So
what would you say your mistakes have been?
I'll give you a mistake I've made. The biggest mistake in my career. Not that anything really happened from it. It was just such a... I know I'm better than that and more like media trained than that. I went on a podcast with this girl, and she was like pressing for questions, like really asking some things. So she'd be like, how much money does BobDoesSports make? And she's like, can you give me a figure or whatnot? And I'm trying to avoid it. And I'm like, I'm avoid it. She's like, is it 7 figures, 8 figures, 9? I'm not even thinking what the figures are. Like, I'm just thinking like, she's like, 7.
I saw this. Sorry,
yes. And she's like, is it 7, 8? Can I get up to 9? And I answered, I was like, it depends on the year. It could be 7 one year. You can push it up to 9. Not realizing that 9 is $1 billion. It was one of the dumbest things I've ever done. A day later, Nate Edwardson puts out, and I like what he does. I appreciate what he does. BobDoesSports claims they're worth $1 billion. I was like, oh my God. Well, so the guys, we were on a BobDoesSports trip when that came out. They ripped me. They were like, Bob doesn't do figure 8s. He does figure 9s. And I deserved it. Like, it was so stupid. But like, that to me was one of my biggest mistakes of like, just, you don't go, there's no need to go in that deep on that, and I just know I'm better than that. You know what I mean?
So how much money does BobDoesSports make?
10 figures.
20 figures.
Yeah.
Just say some number that's so astronomical no one
Nate
can believe
came
it.
out with that video.
$1 trillion.
He was on it. Like, it was like, like a day after, and I was like, oh, what did I do? It was so bad.
That's funny.
Brutal.
9 figures.
And I wasn't thinking of what the figure was. Like, it was the dumbest thing I have. Oh, it was so bad.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, more on a positive note, like, is there anything that you want to tell the fans they can expect out of BobDoesSports? Well, let's rewind. Before I ask that question, I wanted to go back into like being authentic with content, because something that I noticed from my perspective watching your guys' channel is I feel like a huge value in a group is when the group can go out there and just film some random golf video like you guys are doing. I mean, you could do literally anything. You guys could just go play a 4-man scramble and still pull probably 1 million views a video, which I think is like a testament to your guys' audience. You have a very loyal fan base, and they'll probably follow you to the depths of wherever you want to go. So I just wanted to mention that, because you're not really relying on a collab for every video. You're not relying on different things that maybe a lot of people might rely on. Like, you guys do have a very authentic fan base. Is that something that's by design, or is that just you guys are like, pick up a camera and go? Whoever wants to watch wants to watch.
Yeah, so that was something that we kind of learned from the fans. Like, we would bring guests on, and a lot of the times we realized, like, they do prefer just to have us, where it's just us, depending on the guests. You got to have the collabs. Like, and then, you be selective about the collabs that you do. So, like, some people that we thought would hit and they would want to see, they didn't necessarily want to see because they wanted it to be us. And then sometimes, and I'm sure you guys have seen, like, if you go on a collab week, rather than like rattling out 4 or 5 videos with that guest, like mixing it up. So like, so they don't see 5 videos right out of the way with the guest, like mixing it up, like, okay, holding it, waiting, a month or 2 and then dropping it. So it's a little more fresh. But collabs at the same time are so crucial on who you have. And, yeah, we've kind of learned from that way from the fans.
Yeah.
You guys do that where you guys kind of really opened up the collab game where you would bring on, like, again, think of me coming on even before BobDoesSports. You see how crucial the collabs hit. And when the collab does hit, it's the best.
It's huge.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but it is, I mean, it's true. Like, you got to be careful which ones you are collabing with. Because, again, it's kind of like a similar thing with sponsorships, how fans can react or how people who watch videos can react to, a lot of people that watch my videos don't like that I promote Underdog, but I love Underdog. That's like, awesome. I use it all the time. Yeah. Like, no, not actually, this is not meant to be like a sponsored bit. I just 100%. Like, that's a company that I really enjoy using. And so I'm happy to promote it, but again, they're sensitive to that. And then like, there's certain collabs that have come on in the past where you read feedback and they're like, oh, we don't like this person. But when they do, oh my gosh.
It's the best.
It's crazy.
And that's why they're good. And again, obviously, like, you're not going to please everybody. Like, there's going to be some things where just no matter what you do, they'll have bad. But overall, when you have a good fan base like you guys have, or us or Grant, they really do let you know and kind of guide you to what hits and what's not.
Yeah, yeah. Would you say, speaking of collabs, and authentic content, what would you say is like the next? Do you guys have a next big thing that you're planning for BobDoesSports, or is it same old, same old?
Right now, so much of it is around the Internet Invitational and backing that up and making the second one, try and compare it to the first one. So that's a lot of that. I would say, I guess it's out there, so we could put it. We got Scotty, which is awesome.
Wow.
So that'll be really, really cool. Shout out Nike, they put that together, so that would be awesome. And then if I could get a pro, 2 guys, I like guys who really haven't been much on YouTube. Like, sometimes there's really big pros, but if they've been on YouTube a decent amount, it might not hit as well. Jordan Spieth hasn't been on YouTube much.
That would be huge,
and he would fit in well with us, and I think be awesome. So Spieth, and then Rory would be amazing, just because I don't know if you saw that encounter I had with him at the gas station.
I have that written down. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I gotta redeem myself from that.
I don't think you knew about that, right?
I don't know about this.
Will you fill Garrett in on that? It's so good.
Wait, yeah, I'm so curious because I was reading through the questions he had down there, and I was like, "What encounter with Rory?"
Yeah, I was at a gas station in Jupiter, and I see it's Rory at the pump. And I'm like, oh, I got to say something, Rory. He had just filmed with Grant. So my dumbass rolls right up next to him. And, like, it just was so dumb and naive of me just to think he knew what BobDoesSports was. And I said, Rory, hey, I'm Bob. Would love to have you on the show sometime. And, like, he had no idea what the
He's
show
like,
was.
who's Bob?
Yeah, so it started off really awkward. He was nice, but, like, he had no idea. And I was like, I saw what you just did with Grant. Like, that was awesome stuff. I was like, well, anyway, would love to have you on sometime. And then as I'm leaving, I'm like, I say to him, I said, by the way, thank you for everything you do for YouTube. And I meant to say golf.
Oh, no.
And I said YouTube.
Because he hates YouTube.
It was the worst interaction. And then he ended up commenting on my video because I talked about it. He's like, yeah, that was not your best stuff. Like, it was such a bad exchange. And after I left, I was like, what was I doing? Like, to just think that he knew BobDoesSports was crazy. And I said, yeah, thank you for everything you did for YouTube. You do for YouTube.
This
And he
had
was just
to-
like, what?
This had to have been shortly after he had an interview asked, like where he was asked if he liked YouTube golf, right?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I don't watch it at all.
I wish that
It had to have been after that, right?
No, I wish it was.
It wasn't?
Because it almost makes you think like, man, that interaction was so bad that he had a bad taste in his mouth about YouTube.
You had to say it.
Because he seemed to have a blast with Grant, and then I came along, and
No, I'm saying was your interaction with him, was it after his interview?
it was before.
It was before?
Yeah, it was before. It was really.
Because that would have been really bad if it was after and you had seen the clip of him already saying,
Dude,
like, yeah, I don't watch YouTube golf.
It was tough. It was really, really tough. And then like I wasn't even that hungry, and then I just went and got a pub sub and just like ate my sorrows away in the parking lot. I was so pissed.
I can picture that whole
It was
interaction
so
too.
bad. I meant to say thank you for everything you do for golf, like as a really nice closing. And I was like, thank you for everything you do for YouTube. And then rolled up the window, and I was just like, what? Like, what was I doing?
It's the worst feeling too.
Oh,
just in your car, just like, what did I just say?
It was brutal. Oh.
Oh, it's so good.
It's funny. All right, Blake, you got anything else?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. I had a couple other ones written
Yeah,
down. Like,
fire away.
Well, we talked about like your 9-figure income. So, what do you spend your money on?
Good question. Honestly, food,
Yeah.
like the 6 bagels. I like to dabble. Like my goal was always like, I want to be able to go, financial freedom to me is to be able to go to a restaurant and not have to worry, like be able to get what you want on the menu. That's all I cared about really.
Love that.
Yeah, besides that, like the Bob HQ thing, like that was something that I had done, and stuff to put back into the business, but really food's a big thing. I'm not like a big designer guy or any like thing too bougie. But yeah, really just food. I Postmate more than anybody, and DoorDash.
It's like a video game.
It is, and
Isn't
like
it? It's like, what
so
new
much
can I
fun.
find here?
You strike me as a guy that'll over order on DoorDash.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, you can
Well-
tell him. I mean,
well,
I order one off every menu.
yeah, it's great.
It's
Yeah.
all. It's as
That's
his
what
roommate.
you work
it's
for.
phenomenal.
I bet
it's
it
phenomenal.
is.
Yeah.
We always have leftovers around.
Yeah.
There's plenty of food to go around.
And then then you go back into the leftovers because it's there. It's
Yeah.
just sitting there. When I'll do the ordering for BobDoesSports when we're on BobDoesSports trips, we leave those trips. It's disgusting. It's like it's despicable how much food is around the place.
Do you have a go-to on Uber Eats, Postmates?
Bagels, of course, are a big thing. It honestly depends. Because some food doesn't travel well. Like some just pizza doesn't travel too well.
Interesting.
Um,
Doesn't travel well.
Yeah, like where you
Never.
get it and it's not the same.
Like you got to order it in person.
Yeah, like
Fair.
it's hard to do Mexican food delivered because
Ooh.
that's something that should be hot. Same thing with like seafood. So yeah, but I let it rip on there.
You got it down to a T. You
I
know
do.
the types
I
of
love
foods and
food.
everything.
Yeah. Dude, if I was as good of just eating food as golf, I'd be like prime tiger.
You'd be
Yeah, and we
You'd
know
be
that's not the case.
You'd be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Well, your golf game's gotten a lot better, hasn't it?
Yeah, finally, like, it can be so bad. Like, you've seen it where it's at the worst of its worst. But I practice so much because I got the bug now. Like, when you do have those days where you go out there and you're hitting it well, like, I am now, when I first started doing golf content, I didn't really love it. I liked it. And then I've had a few days where it's like, oh my God, I'm hitting the ball really well, and it just brings you back. So I grind. It just doesn't always show. My bat is worse than anybody. It's so bad.
Did you shoot an 80 or what's your best that you shot? You shot a really good round.
I
saw
shot
recently.
an 82, and then I had a round where I played by myself where it looked like I was about to break 80. And I texted the group chat. I was like, guys, like I'm about to do it. They're like, who are you with? I was like, well, it's just me. They're like, yeah, that doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
Yeah. And then I sputtered out from there.
You didn't end up breaking 80.
No, I want to break 80.
Well,
so
at
bad.
what's a safe point to text the boys that what's the like what hole do you have to be on and score to par? Because it's +7. Like at what point did you text them? Was it like on hole 10?
I get a little too excited. It had to be maybe even a little before that. I felt dialed.
can't text
I
in chat.
always do it.
Even through 4 holes, boys.
I made the mistake. What you don't do is I put it on my story, that front 9, and then you're just getting buried. And then people are like, Bob, like, where's the back 9? It's like, don't have it.
It's not posted.
Yeah.
Didn't exist. Didn't play
I
it.
really want to break 80. I
That's
really
funny.
do.
Yeah.
Well, a couple things before we wrap the pod. Appreciate you doing this, obviously. How's the personal life? Dating life?
Dating good. Girlfriend. It's been amazing. And then personal life good. Jupiter's been awesome.
Yeah.
Love Jupiter. Yeah, it's really, really good. I do want to give you guys a shout out too. We talked about possibly doing the Internet Invitational all together, and you guys had a lot going on with the Peacock, like a lot of the live stuff that you guys have. So understood, like, you guys not being able to do it. It could have been so easy for you guys then after to like not come in and do the Internet Invitational. I texted him and right away he's like, "We're in." Like,
Yeah, we weren't
who do
gonna
you
miss
want?
it.
So really, really on behalf of us, Barstool, really appreciate, because having you guys was huge.
It's huge for us, too. I mean, one of our guys won. So
Yeah,
Brad
yeah.
winning was like massive for us. So equally as thankful for you having us.
Of course, man,
Thank you for that.
absolutely.
Blake, anything before we wrap?
No, you want to do those rapid fires?
I want to do some rapid fire
Yeah,
questions
let it
before we
rip.
finish.
I'm golden.
You go through it, Blake.
Yeah, you want me to rip it?
Rip
fun.
it.
Oh boy! All right, Bob. Super Bowl champs this year.
I got the Bills. I think the Bills actually pull it off, even though they may not have home field.
Really?
Yeah.
And then the Rams. So Bills, Rams, and I got the Bills winning it all.
I like that.
What's going to be the final score? If you predict this, it's going to be the most viral thing ever.
31-23 Bills.
Just imagine.
That'd be unbelievable.
That'd be crazy.
Oh yeah.
If there's a year for them to get through the Chiefs in the postseason, too,
This would be it. They just got to get home field from the Patriots. That'd be
Yeah.
big.
All right. Favorite golf course food?
It's Chicken Caesar wrap, just not the one that me and G ate.
Not the Moore Park one. Was that Moore Park?
Moore Park, yeah.
Shout out Moore Park. Yeah.
Caesar. Shout out Moore Park. Put some more sauce on those wraps.
Yes. Add some more Caesar dressing. 7 out of 10.
Favorite golf course?
Place called Hillcrest Country Club in Los Angeles. Best food there is, out of this world. That or Shadow Creek in Las Vegas.
I love how you rate your courses
Food
based off
first.
food.
It's the biggest thing. Yeah.
It's always
about the
food.
course is food.
Yeah. When I joined the club that I'm at in Jupiter, we played and they're like, "So what do you think?" I was like, "Look, the course is great. Can we try some of the food?" And then we went in. That was like the biggest thing.
Then you joined.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
hilarious.
Favorite collab?
Favorite collab. The Josh Allen one was so special.
Heck yeah. Favorite video you've ever done?
I probably the first Max Homa one was insane because he shot the course record. He tied the course record, came down to the wire. Like, that's one of my favorite BobDoesSports of all time.
That's awesome. Yeah. And then wrapping up, dream collab. Anybody?
Dream collab. Charles Barkley is a name that I would love to have on the show.
That's a
Spieth
random pull.
is another
I did
one.
not expect
Imagine
Charles.
Chuck and Shaq.
Oh, Chuck Shack and then like MJ would be.
Oh my gosh! At the Grove 23.
Oh.
Yeah, would be insane. So yeah, I would probably say that. Favorite video non-YouTube this is also right when I saw you guys. The Cutsy Garage Door video. A lot of people don't know this.
We didn't even touch on this.
It was the BobDoesSports Good Trip,
Yeah,
which we got to run back. But that happened while we were
do.
on a trip together.
it was you guys were on the way over to have pizza at our
Correct.
Airbnb.
Yes.
So setting the scene, obviously everybody has seen this video. If you haven't, you live under a rock.
Yep.
Joey walks out. I mean, explain it from your perspective, because they show up and
Cameras on. You knew it was gonna happen.
yeah,
Something was
going
to go south. Do you remember when we showed up how I couldn't stop laughing?
Yes, we were so confused. We were like, "What just
I
happened?"
was crying.
He literally
Yo, he got hit hard. But I had to step, like, everybody was laughing. Like, you guys didn't care that I was laughing, but nobody could say anything without me laughing because that's all I had in my head. So I had to step out of the house to just take a moment into myself and laugh. And then when we got home that night, I was so excited to post the video. I was like a kid on Christmas. At 4 a.m, I was just giggling in my room. I couldn't sleep. Joe heard me from the next door. He's like, "Bob, you have to go to sleep." But yeah, that garage door video, we were at an Airbnb. We were leaving to go to the house that they had to go have pizza together. It was an awesome trip. And FP told them to jump over the sensor because I think we didn't have the key. So we just wanted to close the garage. There was no other way for us to do it. Or we didn't have the garage.
The clicker or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he's like, just go over, and thank God for Ticket, because he just had a feeling that Joe was about to do something stupid, and we just thought he was just gonna just go right over, and he just it was the greatest thing. See me. Oh,
You're in like the trunk, right, or something.
I looked and then saw that Ticket had it on video and couldn't believe it.
The best part about it is watch your head.
Watch your head, yeah. And then Joe's like, "Whoa, boy!" He's like, "That was not ideal."
Clothesline.
I've never seen anyone do because everyone does that. You step over your sensor.
Yeah.
Everyone's
But
done it
he,
as
like,
a kid, right?
Fully just like
If that was gonna happen to anybody, it was gonna happen to Joe.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing you guys after, and we were all just, we couldn't stop laughing.
it's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
We watched that video 100 times that night.
Oh, I had to step out because I almost felt bad. I couldn't get a sentence out without cracking up.
Put that video on the screen, whoever's editing this.
Please.
Well, unless you got anything else you want to mention before we wrap this up,
Dude,
appreciate you coming on.
thank you guys. You guys have been in my corner from day one. I appreciate it. Since
as
the
well.
Micromania days, and thank you so much.
It's
It was
the
a pleasure finally
Micromania.
meeting you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, thanks for all you boys do. You're trendsetters in this whole space, and appreciate you guys having me on. You've always been good to me, and I appreciate it.
You as well. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks.
We'll see you guys. Peace.